Joining me now in Hawks Live Gaming, Shaquill Griffin. We're playing a new game too, Fortnite, so we're going to be on the same team, which means I won't lose this time, which is the most important thing about this. But we're going to talk some football, we're going to talk some life off the field, and we'll get right into the game in here. So we'll just queue up right into the game. Big Fortnite guy?
Yeah, I love me some Fortnite, I can't lie. Go back home and get a whole bunch of people to join in, and we'll do our little thing. Yeah, we can go all night on Fortnite.
So, did you start playing season 1? Did you kind of get into it a little bit later? When did you kind of hop into the Fortnite craze?
Season 2, season 3.
Yeah.
Where I really got into it. Because of season 1, I was like, man, what is this? All this building, man, people protecting themselves. And
yeah.
I was I'm a huge Call of Duty fan. And then Fortnite came and all this crazy stuff. So season 1 kind of let it pass by. But after my friends and everybody got on it, it's like, let me just try it. And they tried to teach me and just kind of went along with it.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, are you one of the only people who played in Fortnite in the locker room, or is there still a lot of guys playing Fortnite?
Other guys, you got me, you got my brother, you got Clowny,
Ooh.
you got Flowers, let's see who else.
You got a pretty solid squad right there. That's a solid 4.
Yeah, we got a couple people there. A lot of guys from back home still play.
Who runs it the best though on the Seahawks?
The best? Ooh, that's a good one. Clowny is actually really good.
Oh.
Trey would say he's one of the best. I would disagree.
Oh, okay. Well, we have to have Trey on here and put his.
We all can get on and do creative mode and kind of go against each other. So,
there we go.
Yeah, so whenever we want to do that, we can do it.
Well, I'll let you figure out where we're dropping. I'll let you lead the way.
Okay, let's figure out something. Let me see here. Can't go wrong looking at it.
Nah, can't go wrong with that. Any other games that you play, or is it just kind of Fortnite right now?
Fortnite, Call of Duty is the main thing. Once that came
Yeah.
out, I'm ready for that new. I already got it downloaded and everything. Just waiting.
Did you play the beta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, had to. But my people want me to get into this 2K.
Oh yeah.
So I just feel like once I get started late, I'm so far behind. Like,
dude,
this guy's already on 99. Like, it's insane.
You're telling me, man. We've had Dwayne Brown on here. He put me on wax. We had Ursula on here. He also beat me. And yeah, last week Leno also beat me in 2K. We came down to the last shot, but
Man.
yeah, I'm with you, man. It's hard to catch up in some of these sports games if you haven't been playing for a long time.
The
So.
2K stuff get kind of hard.
So we got a couple bogeys back there landing with us as well. So hopefully,
See if I can give you something. Okay.
I'm in the room with him now.
Yeah, we got one upstairs right
Yep.
here.
Coming back to you.
Let me see if I can angle it in this window.
Ooh.
Oh, I did!
Oh.
I got it in there. Oh, this
Man, you were.
Oh, it's over here.
Oh man, I don't have a weapon yet. No.
I have only a grenade launcher.
Oh no.
And my other one did not explode. That's crazy.
Uh-oh. I'm out of a weapon, right? I don't have a weapon.
So
one up here.
Yeah, maybe it's one up there. See if it's one up above you. Might be one up there. That's crazy. I threw a bomb inside the window and it didn't explode. That is insane.
Oh, we got one. All right, here we go. We got a
Oh,
weapon.
there we go.
Here we go.
Got one.
We got one knock.
No one knock. Let me see what the other one is. Oh, he's right there.
Let's get yours. Let's get you.
I think he's above you.
All right. Come on. Uh-oh. I'm out of ammo. No. Oh. All right. Quick one for us. That's all right. Warm up. We're just getting ready. So let's get back. You play with your brother, which is such a unique situation. And I'm sure you did the media tour earlier this year. Everyone's got to ask you, what's it like playing with your brother? It's got to be so cool. I want to know, as an older brother, what's the hardest part about having your brother on a team?
The hardest.
Yeah. Because, you got to have a little bit of sibling rivalry here. There's a little bit of that stuff as well.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. We have our disagreements. I feel like that's the main thing. This is a guy who I live with every day. So sometimes we don't see eye to eye. I feel like that's the most difficult thing. But at the end of the day, we still love each other and we figure out how to work through it. But besides that, just knowing that he is his own person, so I got to learn not to tell him what to do and just, kind of comfort him and let him know how to do things instead of making it seem like I'm just telling him what to do. So that's what I do, because I'm just looking as in being the older brother. I feel like I was always that guy who had to, do that for him.
Right.
But now, him just let him do his own little thing. That's the part I had to work on.
I like that.
So, yeah.
I like that. So what advice would you give to older brothers out there on how to deal? You mentioned a little bit right there on how to deal with your brother, or work with your brother, but what are some other advices or things you'd tell people with, who are an older brother?
Just let your little brother grow. There's at times you got that older brother who want to be so overprotective, but after a while, you gotta learn, for themselves, and just trust them that they're gonna do the right thing and that they can help themselves. So just being there and watching and helping your little brother grow and let him become his own person, his own man.
So you play with a guy who's rated 99 on Madden, Bobby Wagner. What's it like to play with a guy with the perfect Madden rating?
So I don't really think about the rating when I'm out there, but
I'm sure it doesn't. I'm sure that doesn't cross your mind. But I mean, it's true. Like so much has been put into Madden ratings, and what people think about them. I guess what's it like just playing with Bobby, a guy is at the top of his game right now?
Man, it's cool, because you look at someone as such himself, and you want to be like a guy like that, a person who's doing everything the right way. He's been a great leader, and even after this 99 rating, it's not like his attitude or his work ethic or nothing has changed. He's still that same guy. So you look up to a guy like that, you want to have those characteristics. And I want to be a guy where around the league, you're doing great things, but you still become that same person you always been. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's the best part of playing with a guy like that, because he's so humble and he's doing it the right way, and he's continuing to show others how to do it. It's just not, taking in all this success and everything he learned and keeping to himself. He's preaching to young guys and bringing everybody along.
A true leader, right?
True leader.
Yeah.
So it's awesome to be, on the same team as a guy like that. You can learn so much.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned so far in the NFL? You've only been here for a little bit of time, but what would you say is your biggest takeaway?
Just holding yourself accountable on everything you do, you accomplish, everything you do wrong. Just hold yourself to a higher standard. I feel like I have to learn that this year. The first couple of years, you're making mistakes and you kind of try to learn from it. But I feel like I was a guy who was so hard on myself that, I didn't give myself any chances to really make mistakes. Because it comes with the game of football. So getting a chance to learn that, it's just hold yourself accountable the right way. So I learned that the first couple years, and now year 3, I have the right mindset going into the games and out of it, and just know how to critique myself the correct way. That's something I learned at the first couple of years. So
that's great. Switching gears here, a little bit more fun stuff. I read that you're a big Marvel movie fan.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I gotta ask you, who's your favorite superhero?
Okay.
As you play with Batman, but who is your favorite superhero?
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
What about Iron Man do you like?
Just his swag and everything he brings to it. He's a different type of character, and of course he's rich.
Yeah, gotta like that.
That's always a good thing. But like I said before, things that you gotta learn. He's always a guy who's thinking about himself, but towards the end, he kind of learned how to be selfless. Mm-hmm. And, those type of characteristics that I would love to have. Also being rich, like I said before. But he's just a cool character. It used to be the Hulk, but I felt like I got the Hulk from my dad. Growing up, he was a Hulk fan, and I was like, okay, maybe I should be a Hulk fan too. But nah, as I got older, Iron Man is the one that kind of leaned more towards. So it's kind of cool. All
right, so we were able to actually loot up. Looks like we're going to be able to play this one through, and looks like
actually for us and everything.
There we go. Good. Looks like we might need to get moving here.
Let me see. Matter of fact, you can come get some potion right here.
Okay.
I'll get you right here.
There you go. There you are. So one thing I noticed about you is you love fashion. And man, you are fashionable, and you just have a great sense of fashion. So I got to know, as a guy who's kind of been a nerd his whole life, trying to be more fashionable, what advice would you give to me?
Find something that fits you, and don't be afraid to try something a little different. I feel like when it came to me, figuring out what type of style I like to go, with random stuff. And once I put it together, and if it feels good on me, then it's right for me. And people just gotta know what they like and what they feel, should look good on them. So
Yep.
some people are afraid, that sometimes to go off color and there's nothing wrong with it. If it looks good on you and you feel good in it, that sometimes that's the best look for you.
Yep.
So that's how I kind of got into it. So I feel like the best thing you can do is find something that fits you well, and if your swag and your style, you feel good in it, that's all you really need.
So growing up, what sort of sports did you like to watch? Were you always a big football fan, or were you basketball, sort of all sports? How'd you sort of grow up watching sports?
So I grew up, I actually didn't watch football as much as everybody think. I may have been a football player. I used to watch track and field.
Oh.
I was in love,
The Olympic sports.
Yeah, running track, and I still do love that. Actually created my own track team behind it.
Cool.
But grew up watching Miami Hurricanes, fell in love with, the Ray Lewis, the Air Reed, the whole era. Kind of followed them all the way up until they went to Baltimore. So that's kind of how I got into it, and that came from my dad. But any sports, I used to love watching track and field. That was the main sport. I didn't really watch basketball or anything like that. But football and track and field was the main things that I watched.
Love that. And you keep mentioning your dad, and I've read in a couple articles how big of an influence your dad was. For this interview, just kind of describe, what type of a role model your dad has been in your life for you and your brother to be able to make it to where you guys are today.
Been a huge role model. I feel like I try to imitate the type of, like my dad put before us, just being that protective, always, putting the family first. And I learned that from him. So anything that I have accomplished is all because of, the mindset he put, and me and my brother actually.
Yeah.
So having a figure like that is a blessing, all by itself. But he's huge. He's a huge part of the success that we have, because he was just a guy that was selfless. And that's the way I try to live my life. The same way he taught us. Being selfless and putting the family first and whatever it takes to make sure the ones that you love are in good hands, or and always are okay. And then after, you try to find others. Now it don't have to be just blood family. It can be friends or people who just in need of help. He's always been that guy to stick his hand out first, to give the help that people may need. And having a father like that is definitely a blessing.
So great. And that's, I think anyone can take that advice. Fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters. We've talked about a lot about family this episode, so it's really great to hear. All right, more fun stuff here. Let's talk about what are you listening to these days? What's in the headphones?
Okay. Nowadays in the headphones, I listening to YBN Corday. He's like more of a vibe, but I love R&B.
Mm-hmm.
So I listen to R&B 24/7.
Really?
So, I have the Q Sweat or the Marvin Gaye, the Tevin Campbell, all the old school stuff. I grew up listening to that and kind of fell in love with the R&B. So, I say YBN Corday because he's a guy who's more of a vibe. Oh, this guy right here. There we go. So it's always a vibe with me. Something smooth, and every now and then I'll listen to NBA YoungBoy and some other guys, but definitely R&B first.
Storm, no. All right, let's see. Where'd you see this guy was? There he is. He's trapped in there. I'm breaking down here. There we go, we got one down. And the stairs. Oh, you good? He's low. Oh, he knocked me. He's in here. Oh, man. He's low. You got him. I think you got him.
Oh, I can't even hear him. Man, he went inside of me.
I know. Man, oh, man. let's see. We probably got time for just one more quick one here. We'll do one more quick one. What about TV shows? Is there anything you're watching when you're off the field? I know in the season is a lot more difficult to kind of stay caught up on all those things. But is there any TV shows you love watching still?
Power right now.
All right.
So that's the thing I'm in right now. Keeping up with that. It's a show that I'm thinking about getting into. I can't remember the name actually. Let me see. What's the most recent one?
Top Boy? That's the one that just came out. That's the Drake Netflix one that everyone's talking about.
Can't remember. It'll come to me.
It'll come to you.
I started watching Game of Thrones. I had caught up with that, and I watched it every season.
Yeah.
In like 2 weeks.
Whoa!
So, like,
you binged it.
Yeah. So one day I had like 12 hours.
All right. So what were your thoughts about Game of Thrones, the condensed version?
It was good. It was good. The ending. That messed me up.
Yeah.
The way it ended. I feel like it should have been so much more, but you know.
Who is your true king or queen? If you were in Westeros, who you bending the knee to?
That's a good question. Jon Snow.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah, I
feel
mean,
like you can't go wrong.
I feel like you two share a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
The nobility, just the way
I
you
definitely
want to
think
lead
he's
by
like
example.
I think he's definitely a selfless person.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
I would have thought, maybe we would have gone with, you would have been like, I really wanted Khaleesi. Didn't want the Khaleesi.
She started tripping towards the end. That
Yeah.
really messed me up. I
know.
feel like her whole mindset. Don't get me wrong. Like when it first started, like when I was watching it, I was all for it. Like
Right.
that's man. Like this is perfect. And then towards the end, man, she just
Blew the lead, man.
yeah, and I feel like the power and everything maybe got to her head a little bit.
Yep.
And just her thoughts and everything it kind of changed. She got caught in being the queen, and it's just I think it got to her.
Yep.
But Jon Snow stayed true.
He did.
He did.
Always stayed true. Or let's get back into some football stuff. Secondary room. Little bit for people, who've been fans of the Seahawks for a long time. Some new faces here. What can you tell us from your perspective about this secondary room that just is different from what you've been a part of before?
Young group of guys. We still, learning and finding our identity within ourselves. But, you got some young guys who just hungry for it. We're closer than ever. I feel like, this year, this group is, spent so much time trying to figure out, where we come from, our families and stuff, and just, building that brother type environment within that, that back end, that group, in that room. And I feel like that's the best part about this group, just being close and being relatable to each other. Mm-hmm. But like I said, we still looking for, finding our identity, but, you can see it coming, guys finding the ball now, and, it's just some young guys who are hungry for it.
Love it. And that you guys are all around the same age, so kind of, you're all buying,
No doubt about it.
Grind with that as well. So we're dropping into Gotham City here. This is the new update that just came out. Shaquill said he's going to go home and download it as soon as we finish here, which is great to hear. So, talking about some other football stuff here, talk about just what it means to be, you're one of the faces of this defense, and people have sort of, whether, it's definitely justified. You've been thrust into this position. What's it been like from your perspective to sort of take on more of a leadership role this year? And be one of the guys who leads instead of just, and is relied upon to help guide some of these younger players instead of just being one of those young guys.
I feel like it's been different, this year. I feel like I've been approaching it, the right way, and not focus on, stats and accolades, because I'm being one of those guys or one of the face of the defense. I feel like the way I've been handling the situation is just continue to be the best version of myself, and taking the younger guys and breaking them along. Mm-hmm. I always wanted to be known as a vet that had no problem taking the time, teaching the young guys the ropes and making sure they know everything they need to know to be ready for any situation they could possibly
we got one of me.
Put in.
Oh, John Wick. Come on, there we go. We knocked him.
There we go.
Oh, his buddy's on me. Stink grenades.
Inside. He gonna try to pick him up.
Yep, he's in here. He's on me. He's shooting me. He's distracted. It's on you, Keel. I know you got this. He's hurting. There he is. He's right around the corner. Ooh, there we go. Knock him. Oh,
what took so long? Oh man, I wish I had a shotgun.
Man, oh man. We're having some fun. I almost wish this continued, but we're out of time. We're gonna have to get the guys. We're gonna have to get a big Fortnite group later on in the season. We'll get the creator mode going, and we'll see who truly is the best.
No doubt.
Shaquill Griffin, you see him on Sundays. You love him every day of the week, though. Thank you for joining me in Hawks On, man.
Appreciate you having me, man.